had no other option than to put my hands above my head and say, tranquilo, hombres, por favor, calm down.
Hello everybody, welcome back. This is episode 8 of the podcast.
Alright there. How are you?
I'm not too bad, how are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. I was just saying to you before, I didn't get puked on this week.
Congratulations.
So that was good.
That was good.
It's a
That was
bonus,
good.
yeah. It's been a fairly quiet week,
Yeah.
I reckon. A few late nights for me.
Okay. I've been very nerdy. I'm trying to put Linux on one of my computers. I nearly threw a computer out the window today. But it all worked out in the end anyway.
I'm amazed that you can even go through something like that. And
I kind of think that I'm tech savvy until I start delving into those type of things, like, and then you just realise, like, nah. But I got through it in the end, like. In fairness, there's a lot of help online with it, so it was good.
Well, I can't even find like a file on my computer. I can't even find, like, you know, when you've got the thing that's like my computer.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't find that. I'm serious. Sometimes I just give up. I give up. Every time I forget.
Then Linux is definitely not for you. Like,
No.
It's
How long's Word been out?
I don't know.
30 years? Not that longer?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Anyway, I'm still not up to speed with Word, Microsoft. All right, should we crack on?
Yeah, let's get on with it. Room 101. Okie dokie. So we're outside the doors of room 101 again, and it's Finn's turn.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about this one, suppose, but it's probably quite a trivial thing. But it's just because I end up looking at these things so often, every day, that it just gets on my tits. And I don't know why people haven't realised that it's just a cheesy way of doing it. But, I spend a lot of time, we all do, getting an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I want to put advertising in Room 101, but a particular type of advertising. I'll try and explain what I mean. But I'm sure is it the same in your apartment block? When you get in the elevator, they've got TVs with adverts while you wait.
They used to have them, but they took them down about a year ago for some reason, and they haven't gone back.
I wish they'd do that in the ones I go to.
I assume they took them down now because I guess somebody gets paid for having you get money for having them in the elevator, and then there's probably some argument about.
Well, in I end up going to a few different people's apartments, and they've got like TV screens. They've got all sorts of shit, all sorts of ways to advertise stuff. They've got like posters. They've got TV screens, TVs in the elevator, TVs outside the elevator. They even had one when I went to our mate Leonard's house.
Yeah.
They used to have one where you when the elevator closed, the back had like a projector screen, so it would project like patterns and digital images on the door, while you were going up and moving up and down. I mean, it's just all over the place. But I know people have got to advertise, and advertising's kind of a bit of the devil's work, isn't it? Really, I reckon, a lot of the time, just trying to persuade people to buy shit they can't afford and that kind of stuff. But what I hate most, and I'm sure it probably still happens in England, but you see it a lot here, is the old cheesy way of advertising stuff. I'm talking like, these adverts, they kind of prey on your desire to be like this perfect family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Oh, mate, there's some terrible ones, and I see them all the time, so just like burned into my retinas now.
Yeah.
But and they're so fucking inaccurate. You just look at and like they'll have ones where there used to be one where I don't know what it was. The kids had a watch. It was like a sort of phone watch, so the parents could go. So like here in China, it's just like little kids going, "Ni hao, baba," hello dad, and then watch a little cartoon things going off, and it's just in you because sometimes you have to wait. Like if a building's like 24 floors. You have to watch the same 6 seconds over and over again. Yeah. And it's got some like perfect mum and dad, they've got like 3 kids, and yet the mum's like all made up in like high heels going, "Oh, he's so great." And it's just such bullshit. And it makes me think because there were some adverts that came out, there were advertising campaigns that came out, they were quite funny. Yeah. And they kind of moved away from this. I don't know, is anyone fucking Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like it's such a cheesy way of doing it. They used to have some quite funny ones and quite interesting ways.
I know what you mean.
I'm sure they still have them in England, but I don't know.
No, like if I see something like that, no, to be honest, I just don't even watch it anymore because, like you said, that those days are gone. Like, but
it's so cheesy. It's I don't know what. Maybe I don't know if it's just here in this country, but they love it. They do it a lot. The ones that make me laugh the most are the ones like they have like adverts for Baijiu. You know, like the stuff we've been drinking.
Yeah.
And it's like some suave dude in like a shiny suit, like chilling Baijiu.
There's fucking nothing suave about Baijiu.
Looking like, all fucking suave, just doing a glass of Baijiu. And I'm like, that's bullshit. There's no way. You know what I mean? It's like when remember they used to have the woman on the Flake advert in England. She's like in a bath, fit woman. Always a fit woman eating flakes. And I'm like, if you sit around in a bath eating flakes all day,
you won't look like that.
You don't look like that, mate. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel about these Baijiu adverts. There's another one where they've got like the sort of archetypal sort of Chinese family, and they're all having dinner, and like the son is like pouring a glass of Baijiu for the granddad, and the granddad's like well suave, in like a sweater vest and a check shirt, and he's all like proper well groomed, and he's just he's chinning this Baijiu. I'm like, that's not how it goes.
They're sitting at home in a tracksuit pants, drinking it out of a
and he wouldn't be like
plastic chew or something.
Yeah, and he wouldn't be sort of sitting there all prim and proper going, "Ooh, what a lovely little sip of Baijiu." He'd be like spitting when he talked and fucking sweating and saying inappropriate things. You know what I mean? That's what happens basically when you drink this. So just get some tips. Yeah, and then one more I saw. This annoys me the most. Obviously, they also use a lot of like young sort of boy band type characters,
like the K-poppy
to
kind
advertise
of
like Budweiser and other beers, like some of the Chinese beers and stuff. And you look at the guy and you're like, you've never had a beer in your life, and he's just standing there holding like a glistening bottle of snow beer, and his hair's all
licking the bottom of the glass or something because he doesn't even know how to drink it.
Yeah, but then the one that annoyed me the most was there's one in this pool hall I used to go to. The elevator door is shut, and on the elevator door it's just like it's two boys and two girls, and they're dancing around. Obviously it's a photo, but they're dancing around. There's all these disco lights, and they're all dancing. They've all got a can of Budweiser, and every can of Budweiser is closed. So like, is that what you do? You just get a can of Budweiser out. It's not even open. And you're just dancing around like a fucking moron. It just seems like such a fucking inane, and it just makes me think, does that honestly make people want to drink Budweiser? Is that what the... you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but I kind of...
Obviously it works. It must work or they wouldn't do it, I suppose. But it's like...
I like the fact that, like, in China you're still allowed to advertise alcohol, though, to be honest with you. Because I think back in the West now, it's pretty much you can't...
Really?
Well, you definitely wouldn't be allowed to throw a beer commercial up on an elevator. Like, I wouldn't say so. No, yeah, I could be wrong on that. I'm not saying that it's banned from TV, but it has to be after a certain time and things like that.
I wasn't aware of that.
So for all the people yelping on that there's like no freedom here and stuff, they do like they because they don't really have the same issue with alcohol here and stuff. So.
It's just the attitude they take to it. Like you can because it made me think back because I remember when I was a kid there was like some advertising campaigns came out and you actually quite look forward to the new one because they were ace, weren't they? Like,
like even the milk tray one. Remember your man used to go in through the window.
But you couldn't do that now. That's a bit hashtag me too now, isn't it?
The Boddingtons one as well. Was that put a flake in it? Is it? They were good.
That was Melanie Sykes. I was going to mention that one. That was one of my favourite. Melanie Sykes is just she's still beautiful. Today.
Phenomenal. Yeah,
she's still beautiful today.
Yeah.
And then they had John Smith's ones with Peter Kay. They were good. They were good. Yeah. And but I think the ones that
anything Guinness brought out, in fairness, like they were a bit artsy, in fairness,
but adverts.
Their marketing is second to none. Like,
and they always had like a really good tune. Like,
but like if I got into an elevator and you seen that, you would be happy enough, I guess, right? But I know what you're saying. The quality of the ones. Well,
I just don't understand that sort of like attitude or that direction. It's like you could do something a bit.
More realistic,
a bit more creative and like funny or whatever, but they just seem to go for these sort of here's a perfect family. There's another one where it's like it's a family getting ready for Chinese New Year, and because we just recently had Chinese New Year, and and they're all getting ready. They're eating food and stuff, And then the door opens. It's almost like something's missing. Then the door opens, and the dad's there with loads of parcels from a delivery company.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And they're all perfect boxes, which never happens, does it?
Yeah, no.
That never happens.
They get kicked in the door.
Yeah, they just look like, you know, they look like someone with like sort of special needs has been like wrapping them up and stuff. And then, but he comes in and everyone's like, yes. It's almost like, yeah, consumerism. Whoa, yeah. Now the day's complete. We've all bought something, and it's just so fucking annoying.
Mm.
I think the ones that I really liked. Do you remember the Castlemaine Forex adverts? They were great.
Yeah.
They were so good. The one where
I think more like the 80s and 90s had great ads. Like
I mean, I just remember at some point people realised, oh, let's just stop this bullshit and we'll just do something a bit like something that makes people laugh, and then people start to actually look forward to the adverts. Now, I'm not saying like I look forward to adverts, but it's just these ones, they're so sickening. They're so sickly sweet and and for what they're advertised as well, like Baijiu, it's like, come on, man.
You see, because I'm torn because I know what you're saying, but I also enjoy a good ad nowadays because I don't watch that much TV anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what ads are like in our country.
When I go back to Ireland now, or whenever, or even if I watch something that like somebody sent me that's from Ireland and it stops for the break, I'm like, actually, Asda and Tesco and Marks and Spencer's, even though they're shit ads, you're like, they kind of make me feel like home.
I do feel that because I've been back to England for ages now because of the situation in the air, but it is quite interesting to see what they're doing these days. Like I told you there was one for I don't know what it was for. It was like an insurance company, but it was Ryan Giggs' brother. I think he's called Rodri Giggs or something. You know, and like and the caption was something like, "Because you never know what'll happen," or something. It was for like a divorce lawyer or something like that. You know what I mean? And you know what he was up to? Oh, Ryan. But I remember I love the Castlemaine Forex one where they're piling up loads of beer on a truck, and then one of them goes, "What about some for the ladies?" And they're like, "I'll get a couple of bottles of sherry." And then they put like 2 bottles of sherry on the truck, and the truck collapses, and the guy goes, "Looks like we overdid it with the sherry." So these are good adverts, you know.
Wouldn't get away with that today either. Or the Heineken one where the ladies are walking into the woman's walk-in closet and they're getting all excited, and then you hear the screams in the background.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's basically, like a big, huge walk-in closet, and all the girls are like, get screaming.
Right, yeah.
And then you can hear screams in the background, and it's the man showing he has a walk-in closet, but it's nothing but Heineken, basically, in the closet.
Right, yeah. Well, that was... that was...
They were clever. Like, there was a bit of thought put into... I know there is thought put into that, like, but the ones here are...
Yeah, I just feel like because people get paid a lot to advertise, and I guess it must work. If it doesn't work, they don't do it.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? But I just feel like...
But they could be doing... Like, I agree
these
with
are like... Advertisers are supposed to be like, pretty creative people, whether whether you're morally against it or whatever. But and this is what they come up with, just, here's a perfect family getting smashed on Baijiu. Look at them all. It's like, you could do something really funny.
Yeah.
You could do something good. Maybe it'll evolve that way, I don't know.
Yeah.
But... yeah, so that's it. And I think it's probably more my problem because I spend a lot of time
in elevators.
Yeah, so I'm just sick of seeing these fucking things. I'm absolutely sick of it. There's one where there's some little cheese item, and the mum's giving it to the 2 kids, and the 2 kids are looking around, and it's just like obviously dubbed on voice going, "It tastes great," and they're all fucking eating it, smiling. I'm like, surely we don't do stuff. Yeah. I don't think we should advertise like that anymore. It's just boring, and I can't understand who's fucking drawn in by that type of advertising anymore. So I think we're a bit more sophisticated now. I would have thought.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. See, I'm struggling to come up with a counter argument here, to be honest with you, because.
I mean, advertising in general, we could probably get rid of.
Because it's not as if they don't have your attention. We're basically looking at a screen of some sort. Fucking creepy that they're doing it in elevators because it's not like you can like walk out.
No, it's just there in front of your eyes.
And especially if you've I noticed they do a lot of kids stuff in them as well, and like kids will just automatically look at the screen and then it's like, "Daddy, I want one of them." Or,
yeah, that's what it's about. Especially that kid.
I flipped what actually. Now I should bring it up. Just after the little one was born, Angel had gone in the hospitals here, the private hospitals we went to. They start throwing all sorts of stuff at you, right? So they came and it was a photography crowd. They gave you a number of free photographs or something like that. but like they dress them up in like little uniforms when they're tiny, right?
Yeah.
But all newborn babies look exactly the same, right? So I got into the elevator in my place one day, and fucking there was all these flashed up like it was a photography crowd. And I could have sworn one of them was Johnny, right?
Really?
So I was freaking out like I was going to Angel. Them cunts. No wonder they gave you the pictures for free. They're using them as a fucking advertisement now. And she was like,
really, really real.
She got into the elevator. Like we went up and down. Like we had to go up and down like 10 times before because it was on a loop. There was like 10 or 15 different ads. And by the time that baby came back on, she was like, Jesus Christ! I hope you never lose that kid because that's not your fucking kid.
Oh, really?
So it wasn't him, but like
I wouldn't put anything past these marketers.
no, but there was a time here like China isn't really known for like respecting copyright laws and stuff like that. And I can remember passing a bus another time as well, and it was for something. Like, I know, like, the likes of David Beckham and them are starting to do advertisement in China and stuff like that, but they're doing it for, like, brands that you know, like, they're not doing it for, like, some donkey meat salesman or something, like, basically it was on the back of a bus, it was, like, David Beckham was advertising, like, Baijiu or something. His face was definitely photoshopped on something. There's no way he came over to do a Baijiu advertisement, like, do you know what I mean? So,
all right, what do you reckon then?
Actually, yeah, I'm okay with it. It's like there's
stick him in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try and.
It will make my life a lot easier if I don't have to watch that bullshit. To be honest,
I just think it's pointless. It's entrapment.
I wouldn't mind it. I honestly wouldn't mind if it was something a bit more inventive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, it made me laugh, but
yeah,
it doesn't. It's all the same. It's all the same rubbish.
Cheesy advertisements or advertisement in elevators in general. Yeah.
I remember someone. I remember someone in China. I don't know if I want to say it was David Beckham. I'm not sure it was, but he was advertising a website to buy used cars. It was someone dead famous.
Maybe that was it. Maybe that's what I seen, and it was like, "There's no way he did that." Like,
Well, I think if it was that one, I think it was real because that was everywhere. That was.
Yeah, it could have been but at the time you're kind of going, there's no way David Beckham's coming over.
Well, the thing is that celebrities do this. They'll advertise something random as long as they know it will never be shown.
Back in the West, yeah.
Or America. Because American stars used to do that in England. All the American Hollywood stars used to advertise
That's true,
L'Oreal LV.
Yeah.
But I read that there's a clause in the contract they can never be shown in America. These adverts. It was only in Britain, so they are up to that shit.
How can you guarantee that nowadays? Like with the internet, you're definitely.
Well, yeah, I guess, but you're not allowed to.
I'm going to start doxing them all. If
campaign.
I see David Beckham selling fucking chicken feet or something like that, I'm
That'd be
I'm
great.
posting it on YouTube immediately.
That'd be great. Becky were like, duck snacks. All right, we're sticking them in. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
in
right.
she goes.
In they go. Cheers.
All right.
All right, next part, Snacks Unknown.
We've moved to the studio, as you can see. We're very professional tonight.
Yeah, we have them. Yeah. Getting involved now. Good, you've got everything ready as well.
Yes.
Scissors and knives.
Yeah.
Christ knows what's coming. What did we eat last week?
Oh,
Some barbecue stuff.
Yeah, more barbecue. Yeah, we just we did a bit more research into that. It turned out what we thought was lamb's whip. We thought was tail. It was a kind of a tail. It was his cock, basically.
Lamb's cock, yeah. So that's what we were eating. That's the only one I've ever spat out as well.
Yeah.
So my heterosexuality is intact.
Yeah.
I think.
So I have a few different items today, but I'm going to start off with Chinese people like themselves an egg. They like their eggs so much they have found a number of different ways to preserve them. And I have 3 examples for you. So basically,
I don't mind an egg.
We're going to start with one that's a marinated egg, which is basically you see them a lot in train stations and stuff. People they kind of take them and they put them into their instant noodles.
All right.
The second one is a salted duck egg, Shijiadan, which I think you may have tried before, and then we're going to finish off with the 1,000-year egg.
I think I've heard of this, but I don't think I've ever eaten one.
Let me get you. So this is the marinated one.
Well, that's not too bad.
Then we have I wrote them on them because I couldn't remember which one was which.
It's like Easter. It's like when we used to decorate eggs at Easter. So this is a salted egg.
Salted egg, and this is the century egg. So it's chicken, duck, chicken, basically. Not that
Century or
matters.
1,000 years?
They have a number of different. They have like 1,000-year-old egg or century egg. They have a old egg.
Millennia
They
egg.
have a couple of different terms to it. Like so,
All right.
basically, I think this one myself is not going to be too bad. But shall we crack on?
Looks like a good setup anyway. Let's try it.
Yeah.
I haven't had eggs for a bit, actually.
So this one now, the thing that scares me is that all of these last for basically forever. Like so,
Yeah, that's what always worries me about things that you eat. So,
this is a marinated egg. No, it's not. They have tea eggs as well, which I was going to get, but the tea egg you have to. I got these a while back. Actually, they were one of the ones that I forgot to bring.
well, it's rubbery, just like
Very
an egg.
rubbery. Smells quite good.
Smells like an egg. It's got a sort of shiny outer layer in it.
It's very rubbery or something.
You can see that. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. That's not bad.
Awesome.
That's very good.
Just a good egg.
That's not unlike a tea egg, actually. Yeah.
Very good. Oh, yeah, I'd eat that.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
that for? I might fucking buy one of
They
them.
have them like in every 7-Eleven and stuff like that. They're good.
Something a bit crunchy then.
Yeah. So we'll crack on to the
Salted egg.
salted egg. It's almost green, isn't it? So seemingly this is like left. It's because eggshells are actually porous. Like so,
Yeah.
if you leave them soaked for long enough, they will actually take on what.
Isn't that why there's kind of a debate in there about whether you should keep eggs in the fridge or not?
Well, there's actually a whole. There's a reason for that. Back in the West, I can't remember exactly. Oh Jesus, this is hard to open in a nice way. Oh my God.
Bloody hell. It's
What's
weeping.
that?
When did you buy this?
No, these last forever, seemingly. No, there's a whole reason for that. It's how they treat eggs. I can't remember the details of it.
All right.
Oh, the smell.
Really?
It smells like feet or something, does it?
It smells like cheese. It smells like a little nice cheese.
Now, seemingly this one, what they do is they cut it up, like, and they mix it with rice, you know what I mean? So this is not one that you pop, like, a huge amount of it into your mouth.
Oh, right, I see.
So you just have to take it a little bit. No, this might even be too much to eat. I see Angel takes, like, little tiny bits.
Well, yeah, it smells a bit...
Yeah, it smells delicious. Well,
It
like,
smells like Stilton.
yeah, it smells exactly like Stilton.
All right, ready?
Okay?
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
I like that.
Is it like I wouldn't eat it, but mix. I can see why they mix it with a bit of rice. Like.
Yeah, I bet it's delicious. Dead salty.
It's very salty, but that's nice. I'm surprised. I thought I'd hate that.
I can imagine that, yeah. If you just got like a bowl of boiled rice and just chop that up in it.
Mix it in with it.
Pretty well nice.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Any supermarket has them basically. They're cheap as shit. Like I borrowed all of these. I said, Angel's dad gave me the duck egg and the 1,000-year one. They just kind of use it all the time for cooking and stuff. So
I like that. That's great.
yeah.
That's good. Just salt. I love salt.
Full disclosure, I've tried this before.
Historical egg.
Now, the history behind this is basically they used to bury the egg in the ground with lye. And, you know, it's like an alcohol. It's kind of
Right.
look at that. That's a good colour you want to see when you open an egg. Black.
I remember I went to Japan once and you went up this mountain and they had sulfur jets shooting out. I think it was sulfur, like steam shooting out of the mountains, and they used to cook the eggs in that. So it was dead strong, but it was really famous. But I can't really remember. I don't remember it wasn't that.
No, I have tried this in a dish, which was with vinegar and stuff, and it wasn't bad. This does look like something's gone horribly wrong
Those
here.
two were well nice.
Maybe we need to do that in 2 sittings. A bit of the jelly first and a bit of the yolk next. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that smells like just basically what it looks like. Rotten eggs.
Yeah, it smells pretty rotten, yeah. Go on then.
Okay. Yeah, that ain't great, now, was it?
You know, the white's alright. If you can call it white. What is it? Albumin.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Mm.
I'm not
Thought
sure.
it would be worse.
It's good. It's just green, which is just like a bit off-putting, isn't it?
Oh my god, yeah. It smells like a swamp. Swamp, basically. Texture. Oh god, it's running into my feet.
Oh yeah. Right. Ready?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh god, I wish I didn't eat that much of it. It's not foul, but it's
It's surprisingly alright, I think. You ate a lot though.
I took like half a yolk there. The taste isn't bad, but it's a texture and just the kind of you can keep.
I think it's just the fact that you're eating, like, to me, an egg yolk is yellow,
Mm,
and this one's green. Not like a really weird green as well, like a toxic green.
yeah,
It's a little bit of a strange aftertaste.
I had basically the dish was it was vinegar and some, I think it was noodles and stuff, and it wasn't that bad actually, to be honest with you.
Mm.
But it's not great. I've one other thing.
Still, I'm surprised because I thought the green one I just like recoiled in horror, but it was alright. But the salted one was fucking delicious.
This one is. I'm going buying a bust of them later. The first one we had. The salted one is not bad.
I like the second one as well. Yeah, yeah, I like the second one.
And then I decided to finish it off with another buy, Joe. Albert recommended this one, I do believe, the last time. So it's very
Cheers, Albert. He's
very nice, good communist bottle.
He's a good friend, so I'm sure he won't fuck with us.
So he said this is better than the one that we kind of enjoyed the last time. I just can never get over the price of it. Like this was 11 RMB and this is 150.
Is that the cheapest one yet then?
No, the other one was actually cheaper. But you can get like this is 150 ml for like 11 RMB, which is like a quid basically, an English pound. And you can get a half litre of it for just 60 pence more.
That's it, Argoto. Just the drink. I thought it was a brand.
Okay.
It was Red Star Argoto, I think.
Okay.
So is Argoto a bit different to Baijiu?
I'm not sure. Let's ask.
Maybe. Well, when we put it out, we'll flash up the info.
Yeah. But what I'm basically trying to do is I'm trying to get through all of these to find one that I could actually, buy basically and drink.
A session Baijiu.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for?
A session Baijiu, yeah. It smells a bit like feet, but it's a little lighter.
Down in one?
Yeah. Why not?
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah.
It's easy to drink compared to. But I think I prefer the other one, the last one.
I'm still waiting. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm dying.
No.
That one I brought was pretty hardcore, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, you get that.
It's not as sweet as the last one, but it's not bad. I could do that. If somebody whipped that out, I wouldn't be.
You get that lovely warm feeling in your chest as usual, and I don't feel like I'm. That first one we had, I hate it when it sort of coats your throat, and when you're breathing in, it's like just gurgling Baijiu in your throat in the air. Yeah, but you don't get that with that. That's okay. That's all right. Yeah,
not bad at all.
No, that's pretty successful because honestly.
I thought, to be honest,
I've tried some of them eggs before. I've never tried that green one. Oh God!
You mean the last one? Or yeah.
And that was surprisingly inoffensive. It smelled like shit, but it was all right. Yeah, it's just a terrible colour for food, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, and it's also
green is a good colour for food, but not that green.
And also, like, I was wondering, like how did they even come up with that? It's like. There must have been a builder like fucking hundreds of thousands of years ago, and he was like had a half dozen eggs. I went, I know what I'll do. I'll dig a hole. I'll use that bit of lye over there, bury it, and then like eat them.
Yeah, well maybe
I don't know how he came up with it.
Well, maybe there was a builder, and he was like they finished building, and one day he was like, "What do they do with them fucking eggs I bought for lunch?"
And the other lad was after tipping the wheelbarrow of lye on top.
And then there was some like structural inconsistency, so they had to. Fucking dig over. Here they fucking
are. There they are. We'll give them a go.
Let's try them. There was
not bad.
Oh, there was some lye in there as well.
It's not how they do it nowadays. Nowadays, it's some chemical process.
I don't know But I mean, how do you? I'm always amazed about how people came up with food. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even like, who was the first person to like milk a cow and get off something like that?
Yeah, but that kind of isn't. I think that's a bit more of an obvious progression because. You see a lady's breast and you know that babies are, and then you see a cow titty and you go, oh, maybe I can get a drop of milk out of that. Like, but
maybe.
But like to turn around and take something that's perfectly good already, like an egg.
Yeah.
But I think all of it comes out of necessity, right? It's
and I'd be interested in
preservation, like keeping stuff through the winter because we have to remember they didn't have refrigeration and stuff like so.
And also things like sort of yogurt and cheese, like because that you can't just stumble onto that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, but that was. I
think it's all. There was some milk and it just went off, and someone ate it. It was like, oh fuck, it's all right. You know what I mean?
I think it's all fuck ups, like, isn't it? It's like somebody left some milk, blah blah blah, and that's how cheese, I think, started, wasn't it? It was some lad put it in the stomach, like in some Arabic country, put it in they used to store water in like the stomach. You know, they had like a bag that looked like a stomach, and because that's what rennet is some chemical in the stomach, it basically made the milk curdle and the temperature and blah blah blah, and then he ended up with this like hard stuff instead of milk.
And cheese was born. Thank you to that guy.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Well, cheers. I mean, all of that was again pretty good. I'm glad we're going through some of these Chinese snacks. I've been here for years, and some of them you just look at them and go, well, I think I'll just have some Kung Pao chicken. But it's good to try.
To be honest with you, like if I go, you know, sometimes when we're maybe a bit tipsy or whatever, and we go home and we go to 7-Eleven and grab one of their tuna /ham /egg sandwich, I'd actually go. I'll buy 2 or 3 of them eggs, and maybe they also have like a chicken breast that's wrapped up the same way. Yeah. Maybe have that
Chop
instead,
that
like
All right, nice one.
Cool.
Cheers.
So we have our first Q&A from a listener.
Yeah, it's our first response, isn't it? Really, to a listener's comment.
Great.
Apart from we've
had some comments.
We've had a comment from the guy from Hull, and we're going to include some more stories.
Yeah,
I've got another.
And there's been a few comments there.
I've got another little look into Hull tonight.
Okay, cool.
I'll talk about it
later. But this one comes from it's my brother, but he's also an avid listener. He's listened to all of them. Fair play to him, and he's enjoying them.
How you doing, Luke?
All right, Lukey.
Can't wait to meet you, mate, someday.
So Luke's question was, elbows or knees? Pick one. You have to lose one, basically.
Yeah, when you first said it, I was like, oh, because all I kept thinking about was like not being able to play sports. And then when I thought about it, I thought, obviously, I'll get rid of my knees.
Yeah.
Just like, when I started to think more about it, I'm like, I mean, even if I kept my knees, I'd still be shit at all sports because I wouldn't have any elbows. So.
And surprise, surprise, I don't do a whole lot of sports. So,
and then I started. But once I thought, all I kept thinking was, I won't be able to play badminton, I won't be able to like play football, that kind of stuff. And then I thought, well, if you haven't got any elbows, you'd be shit at that anyway. and then I thought, like, think of all the things I mean, there are people in wheelchairs. So,
although
you would be able to live. You would be able to live.
Yeah, for sure you would.
And there's so many more things you can do with your fucking hands.
Yeah, and I basically the one of the things that came into my head was like you wouldn't be able to touch anything anymore. You know what I mean? So like,
well, you would.
Which are hands, like I mean.
Well, you just got no elbows, haven't you? So the arms are just stuck straight out. So you'd be able.
No, you're basically. I think he means like you're basically getting amputated from the elbow down.
Oh, I thought you meant like you just lose the joint. So if you lose your knees, you've just got legs sticking straight out.
I assumed, right? But maybe Luke can clarify that. But I think he meant like basically you either get your legs amputated.
So people
or your
well,
arms.
someone could, in my way, someone could put something in your hand, but you won't be able to like put it in your
No,
mouth.
I think he meant amputate, basically, like take off your legs or take off your arms. I think that's what he meant, but that's how I took the question anyway.
Does that mean I rethink? No, definitely not. No, I'd still
because like you never get to touch like a boobie or a fucking, you know what I mean? It's basically.
Well, I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it as though you could touch something, but you couldn't, for instance, like hold something in your hand and then put it in your mouth.
Yeah, so you couldn't have a pint properly again. You'd have to drink it through a straw and stuff like that. And
yeah, I mean,
now China would be a challenge in a wheelchair, to be honest, because they're not great at that here. But like, you could just get somebody to wheel you around. Like,
I still think overall it'd be better than like having no hands.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like you couldn't scratch yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I know one of my ex-colleagues, legend of a fella, Danish lad, was on a motorbike accident, but he lost one arm. And like I lived with him for a while, and you see the fucking torture that, like, even pulling up your pants with one arm, like doing a zip, you know, doing buttons, like everything was like he had to kind of nail down now at this stage. Like he used to just kind of put stuff under his chin and stuff, and
well, that's what like, the humans are amazingly adaptable.
Yeah, but like I could see like. You could see sometimes the frustration on his face.
Of course, yeah.
Because he said even like it happened years ago, he can still feel the arm.
I've heard about that. You
He
get
can still feel it. Like, he thinks that if he's going to move for a point, but he's like, oh shit, I don't have an arm. Like,
I've heard also, this is the thing, sometimes you get like a phantom itch.
pains, and pains and stuff. Yeah,
that'd be fucking horrendous. But I suppose you still get that in your legs as well.
yeah, of course you would, but like, I think we use our hands, we take our hands and arms so much for granted.
Well, that's what I mean. Once I've thought about it, it's like
I spend a lot of
course
time on
you'd
the
have your
sofa though, so I'm like, I could probably live without my legs, like, you know what I mean? But it'd be shit, don't get me wrong. But I'd rather lose my legs than my arms.
As I said, there's so many.
I'd rather
there's
lose
so many
none
things-
of them, but
there's so many things you can do. You know, like, you know, obviously, if you didn't have any legs, you'd probably be spending a lot of time on the internet, and at least you'd have your hands to do that.
yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, cheers for the question, Luke.
Thanks.
It foxed me for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden, I just thought,
No brainer, really, isn't
of
it?
course,
Mm.
I'd just keep me hands.
Let us know what you do.
Maybe you could clarify whether it was you'd still
Yeah.
have your hands, but they'd just be stuck straight out like a pair of wings.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Mm.
Either way, I'd keep
Yeah.
me hands.
Mm.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Cool. So I've asked Finn to give me 3 things that he finds completely overrated in the following subjects. So the most overrated food, the most overrated person, and the most overrated item. So we'll start with the most overrated food.
Yeah, so most of them, these ones, because like we said before, you sent me them a couple of hours before
Mhm.
the podcast, and well, the food one I came up with straight away.
Uh-huh.
I know I'm not constantly banging on about this place, but McDonald's breakfast.
That hit me for. I thought you were going to say something completely different.
No, because you know how much I love McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well be a shareholder.
Well,
I don't know how much money I've spent at McDonald's. It's just beggars belief. You know,
do you
I love
not
it.
think that? Like, I think that.
That's what I'm talking about. Everyone raves about let's get a McDonald's. If I
don't like. I don't get me wrong though. I don't think it's fantastic, but like, I don't mind the.
it's dreadful. It's dreadful.
McMuffin or what, but they're
That's what I'm talking about.
hash browns.
McMuffins, all of that rubbish.
They're not great, but like,
They're rubbish.
yeah,
They're rubbish, mate. If I get home late at night and I call McDonald's, and then or I go onto the McDonald's website and I realise, oh shit, it's breakfast time. I'm devastated.
I'm laughing hard
I'm
now
absolutely devastated.
because literally a couple of weeks ago I got a fucking text off him. Well, it wasn't a text. You can leave audio messages on WeChat. I'm not sure if you can do that with other things, but it was Finn having a 19-minute rant about.
Really?
I just wanted a burger. They wouldn't give me a burger. I just insisted on a burger. They were saying no. All we're doing now is breakfast. It's like
I've done that many times.
You're quite drunk, and it's like a 20-minute rant if you just go. And I'm just like, oh.
I've done that many times because the difference between the McDonald's daytime menu and the McDonald's breakfast menu is just. I just don't understand what people see in those McMuffins. They're dry.
They are, in fairness.
As you know, I don't mind it's got like a rubbery disc shape. I mean, I'd rather eat one of them eggs we just had a minute ago.
Yeah, fair enough.
Any day.
Yeah,
One
but
of those things. But it's the dryness.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's, I love the sauce in McDonald's burgers, but the
you're right.
sausage McMuffin is
Yeah.
like, and especially because at least when I eat it,
Mm.
I haven't been to bed.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing you want is.
No, that's true. That's true.
dry-
You want a bit of flavour, like
it's just like, it's not.
And the thing
bread
is-
and meat. It's just,
in Tianjin, we're spoiled with street food breakfasts, so it's like why you would even bother with it. Yeah, you're right. I agree.
I'll tell you, I'll mitigate this a little bit by saying that McDonald's, you know, what I do love about McDonald's, and they are sort of culturally appropriate. They always have like something that the locals will like.
Yeah.
Like, I went, where was I? I had a McDonald's in Egypt and they had a muck falafel. Imagine that. It was good.
Yeah.
And I know they had some Russian stuff as well when I went to McDonald's there. I've been to McDonald's all over the world, mate. And they, but recently in China they have a thing called Rojiao,
Yeah, which they completely fucked up. Like,
which is like a Chinese. They basically call it a Chinese hamburger, but it's like chopped up pork.
it's
and
way better than hamburger, to be honest with you.
That's the best thing they've ever done for breakfast, even though it's not as
We
good.
always had a breakfast item. Once.
Yeah.
But it looked terrible compared to the real deal. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's obviously it's not as good as the real deal, but it's way better than a fucking sausage McMuffin. Now
They've also like. I think maybe we'll bring that into Snacks Unknown. They've done some random shit here as well. They've done an Oreo and Spam burger.
just repeat that.
Oreo and Spam.
I just want to
burger.
make sure that everyone heard what that was because that was again,
Yeah.
I think it's the same director as Lay's. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know.
But
what
I
he's up to.
reckon what happened was McDonald's China just somebody slipped up when they were ordering stuff, and they ordered like instead of ordering hamburgers, they ordered 10 ton of spam,
Yeah.
and some lad had like.
Well, they've got Oreos because they have them on the McFlurries.
Ah, that's it. Yeah, they were like,
So
how
they-
can we make this? How
Yeah.
can we get rid of this shit?
I don't know who the fuck thought of.
Now, in fairness, they only did it for a day or two. I think it wasn't like a there for a
To
while.
me,
where it was
that definitely reeked of someone in McDonald's going into like the warehouse and going, "Who the fuck ordered this spam? How come there's
it was probably for the
how
canteen.
how
or
come there's
something.
2,000 boxes of spam back here?
Get rid of it. I don't care how
Why
you
is
get
this
rid
not
of
on the
it.
inventory? What's been going on?" I mean, about we better invent a burger, and they probably had some Oreo bits that were about to go
Yeah.
off. But
KFC is another. Do you ever get the KFC burger?
I was just about to say
the
mate.
one that is so in China you have the famous the Peking duck thing, which is basically you get like little tiny pancakes, so a little bit of spring onion, a little bit of duck, and this hoisin sauce. But they've done that with fried chicken.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Fucking amazing! It
Wow.
is. It's not for breakfast. No, it's.
I haven't had that, but this is what it's funny you should mention that, because I was going to say, if anyone else feels like me, and probably people already know this, but I always just went to McDonald's as like a go-to. But KFC breakfast
not bad.
is fucking badass.
Yeah.
It's way better than
But
McDonald's.
they do
breakfast.
like the
because they've got it's basically the
congee and.
No, I don't eat that shit.
No, but they do. I'm just saying they do it, and the dose.
Well,
you
you're
know,
obsessed with fucking congee, right? Yeah, that's the last thing I want. But they've got basically the same things. They've got the sort of little chicken patties, little burger patties, but it's in a nice soft bread with mayonnaise, and that's all I want. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I just had 3 of them this morning.
Good man.
They were amazing. So that's, to me, and like I said, I think overrated. Obviously, overrated means it's not that something is without merit.
Yeah.
It's just I always hear people go on about let's get a McDonald's.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and that's it. Like I like if I'm stuck in a train station or something, I don't mind. Like because I think to be honest with you, I'd rather a McDonald's coffee than a Starbucks coffee because I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. And like their hash
The
brown,
coffee's fine.
their hash brown is solid enough as well. Like, but I mean, you can't really fuck up a hash brown. Like,
No,
but
but
I agree with you. Every time you like. You think you want it, but then when you get it and you bite it and you're going,
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, could they not
like
have thrown a
eating-
bit of sauce on it?
Yeah, it's like eating sandpaper or something. So much so that whenever I did buy a McDonald's breakfast before, I didn't even consider KFC as a breakfast option.
Yeah.
And every time I ordered a sausage McMuffin, I used to add my own mayonnaise. And then I realised KFC not only put mayonnaise on it, which is perfect, they have this like sort of beautiful, soft, floury bun. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
you're
not
right.
amazing, but you know what I'm saying? At 5:30 a.m. or 6 a.m., it's pretty good. So that's the most overrated food in my opinion. The one I thought.
My one, I'll give you quickly. We won't go into it too long. Basically, sushi, but not sushi. Not sushi as if like I don't mind the ones with a bit of rice
Just
and
an
stuff.
entire nation's cuisine.
Yeah, like but sashimi. I basically
Oh,
sashimi. I should have said like basically like raw salmon, raw tuna, raw like fucking like. Look, it's all right. But like I tell you how you can make it better: slap it in the frying pan for a couple of seconds, and it's going to be 100 times nicer.
I will agree with that.
It's for me. I think it's just a wasted good fish. Like it tastes like snot, or not taste, but it has the texture of snot, and it's just like it's not that good.
Yeah.
And people like going around, I love my sashimi. You don't. You're jumping on a bandwagon. You're pretending that you're cultural and all that shit. You don't like it. It's fucking shit.
I kind of, well, I am with you. I mean, I'll eat, like you said, I'll eat the salmon, I'll eat the tuna, I'll eat that one that looks like a little shark fin.
Yeah, they're great.
I don't know what that is, but that's manageable. But yeah, when the sashimi arrives, when I go to a Japanese restaurant, I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll wait for the other stuff. I'll wait for the teriyaki beef and the...
Yeah,
all
like
that
I don't mind. Like, don't get me the ones like even if there's a bit of raw salmon in the middle of the sushi ones with the rice and the seaweed and that, I like it. But again, I'd rather something else. Like, because the Japanese do great. Other like the teppanyaki, like you said, and those the barbecue things that they do and stuff. They're fantastic, but like it's just so bland.
There was a great American stand-up comedian, I forgot who he is now, but he was old, but he said the same thing. He was a big guy,
Mm.
and he was like, I went to an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant, and they were like, and they brought out this sashimi, and he was like, anything else we can get for you, sir? And he was like, for this fucking price, you can stick this on the fucking grill.
But he isn't
Which is
wrong.
right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
like.
yeah. All right, that's it. Yeah, cool.
So we'll move on to the most overrated person. I'm looking forward to this one.
Well, I think I know who you thought I might say. I won't mention him, but I'm pretty sure I know who you thought I might say. And I know I'm going to get some backlash for this.
Okay.
And it's actually been a bit of a Scottish theme.
Oh.
Because I think the most overrated person is Billy Connolly.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know how you feel about Billy Connolly.
I like Billy Connolly up to a point, but I guess that was my age, and that was because my mother was, I won't say she was strict on what we watched, but like she used to leave us watch Billy Connolly, and I think it was because he used to use...
I used to like him when I was 10.
Effing and Blinded, but to be honest with you, I did look... I know he went through a period where he got like a lot... he nearly got cancelled before getting cancelled was a thing. But I look back at him, I know what you're saying.
I realised, like, I know in a previous podcast, I was about to say we're going to get some backlash off listeners if we have any, but I know Scottish people will be up in arms, and I know in a previous podcast I said, I really like stand-up comedy, and people would think, you like stand-up comedy and you don't like Billy Connolly, and I'd be like, yeah, exactly. I just think, like I said, again, let's go back to overrated. It doesn't mean someone's without merit.
Yeah,
it just means
this isn't another Room 101. This means we tolerate them, but it's just overrated.
Yeah, I don't understand the big hoo-ha about him. To me, he's like, and everyone's like, oh, he tells a story so well. It's like, to me, that guy has become very good at influencing you to laugh by constantly laughing at himself and what he's saying. Every story he tells is just him like barely being able to speak because he's laughing so much, and everyone laughs, and he's got this like
infectious
caricature sort of Scottish voice and noises. It's honestly.
No, I'm surprised that you pulled that one out.
I thought you would be, and the reason I did is because I think I know who you.
Well, I had one. I had one in reserve who I'll keep for another time. Yeah. But basically, who I thought you were going to say, who is also one of mine, is Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's how I thought. You thought I was going to say that, and although, but honestly, when I thought about it, this guy's just suddenly popped into my head because I think it's because I do love stand-up comedy. I do love watching stand-up comedians, and every time because people love Billy Connolly so much, and they'll. And every time I think, I'll give him another go. And every time I'm like, how can you? I just can't watch this guy for like an hour and a half.
No, he's definitely better than your man Jeff Dunham for sure.
Well,
but like,
they're not even in the same fucking room. But I'll tell you what. Again, to mitigate this a little bit, I'll take Billy Connolly as an actor any day.
Yeah. And he did that show where he was touring around on his trike. That was a decent show. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't meant to be funny or anything, but it was fairly interesting. It's just
him on stage. I can't.
No, I get it. Because
I
used to love him, to be honest with you, but again, I was a kid, right? And I think I would have loved anybody that like said fuck or shit or piss or I was drunk or
talked about boobies.
Yeah, exactly. But I did try to listen to him recently to kind of
relive it.
Yeah, and I was like,
Well, like I said, we're talking about overrated, and if anyone is rated highly, it's that guy. I mean, he's like, I know he's like a fucking British and Scottish institution. I mean, to say anything bad about, I remember I said something bad about him once on a group, on a WeChat group. We were talking about this last week, and I just got attacked from all angles. And I was like, okay, I won't say anything again, but I do honestly think that. That's my honest opinion.
I agree with you. I'll agree with you. I'll back you up on that one.
All right.
And Steve Jobs is obvious, right? I think a lot of people are starting to realise it is like he gets credit for, the iPhone and all of that stuff, but like he didn't come up with the iPhone. He came up with the concept of it, but like it was the engineers and all that slaved over it. Yeah. And like I'm sure a lot of people lost their wives and stuff like staying in the office on his mad deadlines, and then he had this whole shit of like Bill Burr says it. He goes to the Apple store and he gets charged $35 for a meter of fucking cable. Basically, do you know what I mean? It's like
He's also, like I said, as time's gone on. I mean, not you don't want to speak ill of the dead or whatever, but as time's gone on, I think a lot of things he just wasn't a very nice person.
No.
And not the kind of person I think should be revered as some kind of deity, some idol.
No.
Some technological idol. Remember that we never knew. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's made our life so much easier." It's like everything was going along fine.
Yeah.
He like I said, I'll admit he's a very good businessman because he was like one of the first people to make you. It wasn't that you felt, "Oh, I really need something. I wish something I wish someone would invent it." He was actually, you were waiting to see what he told you needed next.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't even know what you fucking needed. You know what I mean? So yeah, Billy Connolly and Steve Jobs. I knew you'd say
overrated.
I knew you were going to say.
And then the most overrated item. You said you struggled.
This one was the hardest because, like I said, I don't think I'm much of a consumer. Of course, I buy things, but you look around my house. There's a lot of stuff in it, but.
He's got a 2-bar heater.
It's not mine. It's my landlord's, and I just don't get. I'm not into you're not materialistic.
I'm
not into buying stuff, gadgets, and all that.
No, but it could have been anything. It could have been just any item.
Yeah, well, the first one that came to mind, because I am a teacher, the first one that came to mind was mechanical pencils.
Okay.
I don't know if you know these.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I mean,
I love them.
I meant to actually do some research to see, because I know people might say they're probably more environmentally friendly than.
You mean the clicky pencils?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're a bit more
they're made of
accurate
plastic,
as well.
They're made of plastic.
Yeah, but you reuse them. You have one.
Well, you say that, but I've got students, and every week they've got a new one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that's just down to the ones here in China.
All I knew is
quality.
I knew is you had a pencil, you sharpened it, and you were good to go. Everything was.
Yeah, but you can't get they have a really tiny nip, so you can do more accurate stuff. So it is. Basically, it is for technical stuff.
Fair enough, but like I said,
it's not for writing.
As being a student, I'm like telling students to write something, and they're like, "Oh, hang on a minute, I've just got to change the lead," and it's like trying to thread a needle,
literally
putting something in, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I could have had a fucking wooden pencil sharpened by now. Can you just get on with it?"
Yeah, but
then when they're writing. They'll snap it and it nearly takes your eye out. You know what I mean?
But the problem is you shouldn't be writing with one of those.
Yeah.
They're not for writing.
Fair enough.
They're for doing accurate drawings if you want to hand draw.
Fair enough. Well, the other one.
They're being misused basically.
Well, I just miss old pencils. I'll always use a wooden pencil.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with an old pencil.
The other one, I don't know, it's so random, but it's just them Russian dolls. The one's big and the next one's little. And the next one's a bit more little. What's the fucking big deal?
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if they're people rate them, but everyone loves a Russian doll. Look at these Russian dolls. Look, there's a little. Oh, this one. Look, hold on a minute. You think it's over?
Yeah.
There's an even littler one in there. What's the big fucking deal? It's just 9 dolls that are littler than the other one.
I don't even think they're that popular nowadays. I think that was in the time before smartphones when we were just easily entertained.
Well, that's the time I basically still live in. I'm still fucking fuming about Russian dolls. Even when I was a kid, I used to look at them and going, great. What's, okay, that one's smaller than the other one. You think it's finished, don't you? You think that's the last one. It can't get any smaller than that. Of course it can get fucking smaller than that. You just make a smaller one. So that was my other overrated item. But I told you it was the hardest one. It was hard for me to think of an overrated item.
Mine was easy because it's on an Apple team as well. The wireless earbuds basically is what a load of wank they are. I love a bit of tech, right? Don't get me wrong. I like wireless stuff. Don't get me wrong, but these don't even make sense. For one, they got rid of the headphone jack on the iPhone, so now if you don't have the earbuds, you basically have to go away and buy a pair of wireless ones. But then when I started thinking about it, I'm a bit like you, Finn. If I have a few pints in me and I want to cycle home or whatever, I like to listen to a bit of music.
Yeah.
But these, before it was, you had a headphone with a bit of string on it, basically, i.e. the cable, which would keep it attached to your fucking head. And if you dropped it, at least it was still attached to your phone. Now, if you drop one of these cunts, they're gone. And if you lose one, you can't just buy another one. You have to buy fucking 2.
Oh, man.
And then the other thing, on top of that, you have to charge the bastards.
Yeah.
So, you have to know, whereas before it was where's my phone? I have to charge my phone. No, you have to go, where's my phone? And I have to charge my headphones as well. It's fucking ridiculous. Get rid of them. Go back to cable.
To be honest with you, I actually did. That was one of my thoughts. Is these wireless ear pods, because I tried some. They weren't Apple. There were some other ones, but I didn't even get as far as wireless ear pods because even there's something wrong with my ears. I've not got the same. I've not got the same ears as other people. Even my brother and some of my mates call me sloth because my ears are they're not quite level.
Yeah.
They've always called me. They've always called me sloth.
Not as my glasses.
But definitely, I can't wear shades. I look like I'm walking down a hill. There's an earthquake going on. But even when I've got earphones in a cable, they always fall out of my ears, and they never, And so when those wireless things are coming out, I'm like, this is just
ridiculous.
I'm not even gonna fuck with these.
Yeah.
Because I can't even keep wired.
Yeah.
I see my students walking around with them all the time, like. Move sharply to the left, it would fly out of my ear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I
know I'm going to piss off a lot of people by saying this. I'm going to be honest with you. You look like the twats that wear the fucking, the Bluetooth speaker thing, to be honest, when you see, because...
Oh yeah, they wear them all the time.
I have bought a pair of wireless ones, but they have a bit of a cable that wrap around the back of your neck. And they fit into my ear pretty good. And I liked them for a while. But I now hate them, and the reason I hate them is because you have to charge them. We have too much shit to charge to begin with anyway, right? So if you're setting off on an hour journey or something like that, it always happens, right? You're 20 minutes into the journey, and the fucking woman, the little voice recording is telling you, I'm going to shut down now because I have no power.
Yeah.
It's like, for fuck's sake, before it was just easy. You just plugged it into your phone,
and you're away.
You know what I mean? And if you dropped your phone or dropped the earbud or dropped your headphone or whatever, it was still attached to something.
I always thought, were wires like that big of a...
It's not a problem. It's just Apple trying to make more money out of fucking shit.
I'm a bit sort of anti, modernity progress. Yeah. I really miss Sony Walkmans. Big band over the top of your head. Two fluffy pads. I knew where I was with them.
I don't mind having your music on the phone. I think that's better than walking around with a Walkman or a CD or a Discman or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I didn't realize until these wireless earbuds came out that wire was serving two purposes. It was bringing power to the speakers, which is the main one. But the other one, it was like a safety rope. It was like if you dropped them, at least, and they stayed together as well. Yeah. You couldn't, if they were separated, it would mean they were broken and you had to buy a new one. Yeah. But no, I definitely would lose one of them earbuds a week.
I wouldn't even try, honestly.
Yeah, and then charging them, I'd be like, I have to charge them for fuck's sake. Come on.
You're right.
So I think they're the most overrated item on the planet at the moment.
Fair enough. Probably a bit more current than Russian dolls, but that's the headspace I'm in. So yeah. All right. Good questions though. Cheers, mate.
Cool.
Good. Overall.
Slang Wars. Slang Wars.
We're on to the new segment that we created last week where I'm 4-0 down, but I have a game in hand. I'm feeling nervous because I'm not sure.
I reckon this one's quite hard. Although I'll tell you what it is now. Obviously, we know the rules by now, don't we? Well, I mean,
maybe run them over again.
It took me a little while, but we have 3 slang words or phrases. You did yours last week. Yours was Cork slang.
Yeah.
And you get you just get to hear the word. And then you can guess what it means. And if you get that, you get 2 points.
Exactly.
If you can't guess what it means, you give it in a sentence. And if you can guess it, then you get 1 point.
Yeah.
So you've got a total possible score each week of 6 points.
6 points.
And I'm 4-0 up. I did all right last week, didn't I?
You did very good.
I was particularly impressed with Keep Sketch.
Yeah.
I've been kind of using it. I was thinking about how to use that this week. But I've got no one to say look out to. So
You haven't been doing anything dodgy.
Yeah, just wave my hand at a student and go, Keep Sketch, mate. I can't do that. Well, this week, to me, the language I'm going to give you, literally, I wouldn't have a fucking clue.
Oh.
But okay. I'm wondering if you will know more than me, because it's, well, I want to do a disclaimer first, because I'm not from this place. It's Glaswegian
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
slang. All right.
Okay.
But like I researched. I looked at a couple of websites. So I've got it from some guy who claims to be from the University of Glasgow, and another like paper called Glasgow Today or some shit. I don't know. So if there's anything wrong, I just want to say it wasn't me, but apparently it was done by proper Glaswegians. But I also researched a little bit of Glaswegian dialect and Glasgow patter, or what it's called, and it is influenced a little bit by Irish English. So I just wondered.
So they are Celtic, kind of. Well,
Yeah.
half of them are Celtic anyway.
Yeah. There was obviously a lot of Irish people moved there. So I was just wondering whether you would. Yeah, maybe it would just sort of, I don't know, maybe you'd have some kind of knowledge that I didn't. If you asked me any of these things, I would have a fucking clue.
Let's see.
I wouldn't have a clue.
I need all the help I can get because I was worried you were going to come. I know a bit of Cockney slang. I know you're not from London, but I thought you were going to come up with like apples and pears and all this stuff. That I know some of it, but like some of it's really hard. So
All right,
okay.
All right, here is the first
Round
one.
1.
Okay. The first one, it's just one word.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Peace.
As in Piece.
Is it a I can guess without losing a point, can't I?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is it an attractive woman?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Then please use it in a sentence.
I'll do a sentence. Now, do you want me to do a Scottish accent?
No, I don't.
It's actually written. The thing is, because
If
I
you can,
found this on a website and it's done in kind of phonetic
Okay,
Scottish accent, a bit like when you read Irving Welsh.
Yeah,
who I love.
yeah.
And so I'll try and embarrass myself with the Scottish accent. You ready?
Mm.
I'm going to make a piece for work tomorrow.
Fucking hell.
Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed speaking.
Not
in Scottish
bad,
accent.
actually. Not too bad.
I'm going to make a piece for work tomorrow.
Lunch?
Oh, you're fucking pretty close, mate. To be honest,
Okay.
it says this is a traditional word used in Scotland for a sandwich.
Oh, then I think I should get the point for that. Like,
You think?
At least 1 point. Like,
Half a point?
well, what's he going to do with it? He's hardly going to fucking.
I know,
It
but
is
lunch could be bloody. I think because I said I'm going to make a piece, I'll give you half a point. I'll give you
But
half
a sandwich
point.
is for lunch. Like, you're not bringing your fucking
All right,
breakfast.
but you could have been making like a bloody dish of
All right,
pasta or something.
I'll take a half a point then.
Yeah, half a point. All right, ready for
Round
this one? Yeah, half a
2.
point.
I am.
Next one is. Well, there's 2 words for this. Winched. Winched.
Winch.
I'll give you. It's a verb, obviously. There's another one which is also similar, which is nip. NIP. I'll give you both. They both mean the same.
A drink of whiskey or something? Or small whiskey?
No, I thought you might say that.
Mm,
I'll give you another go because it's not that. It's not like a neep.
drunk.
No.
No. Okay.
I'll give you a sentence. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you both. I'll try and do the Scottish accent. This one. I winched about 10 folk last night.
Okay.
I'll give you the other one. Me and Julie nipped at the dancing.
I think
Actually, that's a bit.
giving me the 2 is like throwing me completely because I thought it was fighting.
That's a bit
first, right?
unfair because the dancing is actually another one. All right, what if I tell you what the dancing means? It means a nightclub.
Say it again, so.
Me and Julie nipped at the dancing.
We went to?
No.
Nah, no points for me. For that.
Kissed. It means kissed.
And winched is kissed as well.
Yeah.
What was your first sentence?
I winched about 10 folk last night.
Ah.
I kissed about 10 people.
Oh my
It might
goodness.
be. Maybe I'll stop doing the bloody accent. That might be putting you off.
No, it wasn't at all.
So you're on half a point.
Half a
These
point.
are hard though. Honestly, I
But
wouldn't have had a clue.
Yeah.
But you can try and one up me next week.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be like,
Because,
welcome to Nigerian slang with James.
Round
All right.
3.
Ready?
Okay.
Scunnered. SCUNNERED.
Drunk.
Scunnered.
Drunk.
No.
Use it in a sentence then.
I'm absolutely scunnered after that shift.
Tired.
Nailed it, mate.
Hey!
Nailed
point.
it. Nailed
One
it.
and a
I
half.
think it was the accent.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought I as I was cycling here tonight, I was like, I know this fucker is coming up with hard shit.
Slang Wars.
And I was like, I'll be lucky because for full expo.
I wouldn't have known any of those.
Last week when we decided to do the slang thing, it was only just as I had the slang. We were going to do the slang thing, but we didn't know how we were going to do it.
Yeah.
And it was just as I walked in the door, I like, let's make a competition out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So like my sentences, my first one basically gave it away, and like the second one was with. So like Finn, obviously, I'm not saying that he had an advantage this week.
I did. I had a
Slightly
massive
did.
advantage.
Whereas next week, my sentences, I will use them more cleverly, so
Yeah.
it'll be...
Well, I don't mind if you want to call this round one.
No. I'm not...
I'm still fucking well impressed that I got keep sketch.
Yeah, that was a good one. And a twin bulb now.
And I got that without a sentence.
Yeah, you did.
I did, yeah. So.
Yeah. No. No, it is what it is.
All right, so you're on...
1.5 to 4.
1.5 to 4.
Yeah.
Slang Wars.
Slang Wars.
Right, see you next week.
Slang Wars.
TikTok review time.
It is.
What have you got for me this week?
Well, I this one I stumbled across today, and it just annoyed me so much that I had to bring 2 clips from this lady. She seems to do things that they just frustrate you and make you like kind of angry at what she's doing. So
Right.
I'll let the video, the first one, speak for itself.
Sounds like a Room 101 contender.
Yeah, it's just like she gets a pleasure out of like doing stuff that like you just wouldn't do, like. So here we go. That girl's got a lot of anger in her life, I think, doesn't she?
What is that about?
Yeah, her whole channel is, and she has like 60, 70,000 subscribers or something like that. Like, and it's like, I just went through her whole, her life must be just, let me just show you her next one now. Her life must be horrific.
Yeah, she must have a stressful job. Or maybe no job.
Like this one, like 4 nice looking burgers
What's
there.
she going to do? She's not going to destroy these burgers.
Just wait. They're 3 solid looking burgers now.
Oh my God.
She's a bit anti-McDonald's, I reckon, is she?
I think I might have met this girl.
But her whole channel is just like, and she seems to like she fills up a glass with something until it's almost overflowing. Like she like scrapes it off with like a ruler and stuff. It's like she's a bit morbid, that girl.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
It's not great for a podcast.
No, but
I'll never say anything like it in my life.
just like
Tarantulas and maggots on a burger.
yeah, she like ruined 3 good Big Macs there, and
Plus, she's obviously got tarantulas.
yeah, and
I mean,
maggots.
I imagine
Or
she
not.
hasn't just like sourced some tarantulas.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope that's not how the McDonald's came to her now. But
I'm very, very, very worried about
that was a
this
strange
girl.
one.
Yeah, very worried.
And then it was a poor crop this week. It was just all dancing girls. So, but this guy actually did make me laugh out loud because
I don't mind the odd dance.
this lad made me laugh out loud because what happens here is the last thing I was expecting to happen.
Hot dog on a bun.
Where's the hot dog?
Really?
Bloody hell. Oh. Is he? He might be married to that other bird.
I was like, fuck it, I need to
Where
find
did he
it.
keep that sausage in his mouth? He couldn't see it.
Down
at
his
all.
throat, I reckon, and he kind of regurgitated it. Yeah, the young people of today.
This is what I'm talking about with this TikTok thing.
the young people of today.
It's like, what's going through your mind? Like, sort of, where'd you get these ideas from?
Yeah.
Like, even those lads we watched before when they were banging the mate on the knee and he was had an accordion in his mouth.
Yeah,
Not an accordion, a harmonica.
But I can see, like, when I was, fucking 16, 17, I could see myself coming
Well, I
up
was
with
gonna say,
something like
this,
that.
This is like
But deep
way
throating,
worse.
deep throating a hot dog and like serving, that sounded like it was like an older, like maybe his mother or something like that.
And then
like
regurgitate it out.
and like basically showing your mum that like you can deep throat a hot dog is not exactly the.
Well, I would hope it wasn't his mum. Was there another voice on it then?
Yeah, the woman, when he puts down the bread, he says, hot dog and a bun. And she's like, where's the hot dog? And then he regurgitates it out.
Like, oh, good God. Well, I'm losing hope. I was starting to like TikTok, and now I'm going the other way now. This is the kind of shit that I imagine it is, you see. And then you showed me some funny ones, but now
Yeah.
I'm just, oh, God.
And then I have my one and only entry for our Olympics.
Oh, good.
So
Forgot about that. The alternative Olympics.
the alternative Olympics is still going strong. I'm finding a lot of these. So for me, the long jump can go take a shit, and we're going to replace it with this.
Where'd you stay? Oh, with my friend.
Very
I
nice.
like it. And it's easily measured, right?
Very
so you
nice.
set up that little barrier for like the whole length of the stadium.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just fucking go for it.
I reckon
right?
I could do that.
I don't.
I mean, I just couldn't. I just couldn't do the first bit. I couldn't
Yeah, the jump up on it.
flip onto the thing.
But I like that one because like
I would go
you
that.
can easily measure it. You know what I mean? The other ones
Yeah.
that I've shown so far is like a little bit hard to determine who wins, but it's like obviously who slides the longest.
Yeah.
Or and then if there was like if somebody made it to the end, if two people made it to the end, you just go by time then who got there faster or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
I think it's
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to measure the 4-acre slap off. Remember that one?
yeah, especially because the rules were not very clear.
And
The ice one, I guess, could be a race, so that's not too bad.
elastic band sculling. It seemed to have some.
It seemed to have
Set
rules. We just
parameters.
need to talk to the people who do
Yeah.
it because there was a big crowd.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And the kicking
But this one's easily set up. No
the young fella kicking the bottle as well. But that could be like how many times you miss or how many times you hit it or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's
And
some-
you could get style points. It could
Yeah,
be like
so that's like
gymnastics.
gymnastics, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had the heavyweight running, which is obviously who gets to the finish line
That was
without
brilliant.
having cardiac arrest.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're still coming, and I actually I had more, but I'm going to save them for next week because there's a lot of droughts with TikTok. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was interesting. What were they sliding down?
it's just like a curb. Unfortunately, no Russians this week. I'm sad to announce.
I was going to say,
I haven't seen.
I didn't hear that alarm. I didn't hear the alarm.
The alarm didn't go off. Sergey is. After the last video
Yeah, I
of
was
him.
going to say, yeah.
I have seen nothing of him in the last 2 weeks.
I'm worried about Serge now because he was just watched
And I
him
haven't even
fall
seen
away.
any like angry Russians or drunk Russians or anything like that at all. So maybe they're just having a good time at the moment.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right. Good.
So that's it.
Yeah.
That's a short
Interesting.
TikTok this
I'm
week.
glad we had another entry to the alternative Olympics. We can need to keep collating these. And,
Yeah, I know. I have a few
and
of
then we
them
can
in the
go.
bag.
Then we can go to the Olympic Committee and say, look, we're ready to do this.
Yes, I think we're going to do a special podcast one night where we go through all of them and we actually lay out what the rules are, and then we're going to try and do one maybe.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
TikTok done.
That's it.
Okay, final sections, current affairs. Jason's going to helmet this week. I've done the last few.
Mhm.
All right, mate, over to you.
Okay. So before I begin, it was this week. I wanted to come with I didn't want to go Panda Guides, so I went to some of my other sources like the Sixth Tone and That's Tangent and a few others. But they're just basically they always come out with about 5 articles a day, and for the last 3-4 days, all of them have been just COVID, and I refuse to talk about COVID. No, I'm
There's
not.
enough people talking.
I'm not
about
talking.
COVID.
You will never hear me talk about fucking COVID because look, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
So I had to go to Panda Guides, unfortunately, and it is going to be a bit of a morbid story.
To be honest, when you said you moved away from Panda Guys, I was like, what? You moved away from PG? The PGs?
The PGs. At least I'll give them one thing. They do come with a few COVID stories, and they're pretty goddamn fucking extreme. But they do try to throw in a few other ones. And they do like a serial killer story, these lads. So we're going to Russia this week. So we didn't have a Russian TikToker, but we have a Russian news story. Basically,
I'm already scared, to be
yeah,
honest, because I know Panda Guides, so...
this is a bit grim, to be honest. So basically, there was a lady who worked in a prison. She was a prison guard. I guess she fell in love with a serial killer. And
Who was in the prison?
yeah, so basically the headline is Mum Dates Convicted Sex Killer. Sorry, it's a sex killer, not serial killer.
Yeah.
Thinking she could tame him. And to make a long story short was basically, so I guess she met him in the prison, then he got out after 15 years, I want to say.
I did actually read this story.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to 15 years and he got out after 11.
Sorry, yeah, that's right. Got out after 11, and one day she was at work or something like that, and she tried to call her daughter, and there was no answer.
She was in the prison looking after him for 11 years, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they developed a relationship.
Yeah.
Got together.
Yeah.
And then when he got released, he moved in with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
So they're basically living together for a while. It doesn't really say how long they were living together or whatever else. It just kind of shoots down to her saying that she tried to call her daughter, who was 11 or 12 or something like that. It doesn't matter, and couldn't get an answer. And then she tried to ring him, and then no, he wasn't answering. So she got suspicious and asked the neighbour to go and check on it. And when the neighbour went in, they found the child dead, basically. And he had left with all their money and belongings and a whole lot of stuff. So it's
unbelievable shit, man. I said, it's classic Panda Guides.
Yeah.
Not to belittle the story, which is horrific, just absolutely horrific. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, well, I mean, I see this, I will say I have a morbid fascination. I know he's not, I thought it said serial killer, it said sex killer, but...
Yeah, I think he was convicted, again, no
I think
details. I think he was convicted of a murder that involved...
sex, rape, or whatever, but I do have a morbid fascination with serial killers and stuff like that, but...
I think many people do, because there's loads of documentaries.
But I just think it's because I'm like, how can something go so wrong with a human, you know? And but you see that there's like these groupies almost that like you know, want to marry them, and you know, Ted Bundy did well for himself. Most of the big serial killers always had somebody trying to defend them and didn't see any wrong with what they did and things like that. And I just find it hard to wrap my head around that, basically. You know?
Well, like I said, I mean, like you just said, you would like to watch a serial killer documentary. I'm the same, man. I think it's because it's something that's so incomprehensible to yourself. That's what you like to watch, you know. And it's this, you know, it's obviously not just us two, because there's
to be honest,
serial killer documentaries of 10 a penny, aren't they?
I know this is going to sound mad now, but if I had the opportunity to go for a few points with a known serial killer, I probably would, right? Because I know I can defend myself or whatever else, but there's no fucking way on this world I would leave a serial killer or any.
Well, he wasn't a serial killer.
Or any sort of a killer, a person that was convicted of murder, especially like rape charges or whatever. There's no way in a million years I would leave that person alone with my child.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go to the toilet for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is what the fuck was going on in our head? I mean, look, I know you can be blinded and think that I can tame a person and blah, 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 but I wouldn't even do it with an animal. I mean, you see people, they have wild animals like tigers and stuff as pets. They might look cute and fluffy when they're cubs and stuff, but someday they're just going to turn around and rip your fucking head off.
Well, I guess the old adage, you know, love is blind. I guess it really is. You know, I wouldn't say for a second that. I wouldn't say for a second that someone who's in prison is not, you know, entitled to serve their sentence and come out and have a loving relationship with someone and get on with their life. But exactly what you said. I mean, someone who's been convicted of what he'd been convicted of, that's no fucking babysitter, mate.
No.
You know what I mean?
I can see it with my wife, and I have it myself. You just know when it comes to your kids, you have this like instinct. You're like, I'm like, there's people I've met in my life that haven't been convicted of murder. They're just, I think they're a bit mad. They will never be alone in a room with my children. Like never, ever, ever. Yeah. And they might be people that I go and play pool with or drink with or whatever else. But there's just something always in the back of your mind going, nah, there's no way I'm leaving. So like, I don't get it. You know, I just can't see how you can get into that situation.
I won't go too into it, but my mum told me a story once about the, nothing happened, but it was just something my dad said about, this is probably too fucking fucked up to talk about, but it was like a not a close family friend, but somebody used to pop round, and my dad told my mum never fucking leave any of my kids
alone with him, like
with this dude. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like a real family friend. Somebody just used to pop round every now and again, but like
you have a sense.
Like you said,
you have a sense.
He was like, it's not even worth risking it. You know what I mean? It's not. You know, you can say, oh, you should.
And that's back in the old days.
And you can,
you know what I mean?
And you can say like, oh, you shouldn't prejudge someone or whatever. But as a parent,
sometimes
you know,
you have that instinct, like
it's you know, without sounding trite, but better safe than fucking sorry. You know what I mean? What the fuck? And look what happened to this poor girl.
Yeah, it's her. It's like I feel terrible for her because she was obviously blinded by love and whatever else. But
well, we don't know the whole story, do we? It's fucking Panda guys.
Yeah, they were a bit vague in the article, now, to be honest with you. But like, it obviously happened, and
I mean, the facts of the case, you've got. I mean, seriously.
So sorry for bringing that up, but it was basically better than fucking listening to another story about the COVID shit, right? So to lighten the mood, we've decided we have, out of our massive fan base of 27 people, we have some people from Hull that we would like to give another shout out.
We've got one special guy from Hull that we like. He listens to the podcast. He comments
religiously. He's like the first man to like, as soon as I upload one, there's always like automatically I can see that somebody's viewed it. It turns out that it's this gentleman from Hull.
We're very very pleased to have you as a listener, Joe, and so we just want to kind of pay homage to your fair city, which is Hull, and I think his interest has been piqued with our story. I don't know when it was, a couple of weeks ago, about Hull being compared to Iraq. And like, I don't want to.
Every time
I know it's weird, isn't it? But now I don't want to. Like I said, the last thing I want to do is take the piss out of Hull. Definitely don't want to take the piss out of Hull. But I just think it seems like it's got some interesting shit going on, and like, you know,
what I like about it, we actually did like look at a few articles and a few videos. It seems people of Hull have a sense of humour about themselves as well, which me and Finn like. I think Cork has a sense of humour about itself. Not sure about Chester. I've never lived there, but
most people.
We like people that have a sense of humour about themselves, and people of Hull seem to have a great sense of humour.
Well, I think I've met I don't know. I've probably met people from Hull in the past, but Joe's one of the ones I remember, and he's a good lad. I only met him once, basically, but I can tell he's a funny guy, and he doesn't take himself too seriously or Hull, and so I just think every week we should.
We're going to pay homage to Hull.
See what's happening in Hull, mate. Hull happenings, maybe we'll call it.
So there will be a little added section for the next foreseeable future.
And I just want like Hull residents to know that it's
we're not taking it.
It's purely out of love. It's out of love.
Is.
And so this week I delved into some Hull local news, and I'm sure most people in Hull have already heard this, of course, but apparently there was. Well, I've seen the video. There was video footage of. A poor old guy. Again, I don't want to take the piss. I don't know if he's all there, if he's got all his marbles or whatever, but he was on a mobility scooter whizzing down the A63 near the Humber Bridge or something.
We'll post the video so you can watch the video.
Just just whizzing down there, and someone was going past. Apparently lorries were like, sort of slowing down, not swerving round him, but slowing down and going round him, and he was just going like a bat out of hell down this A63, which is a pretty main road. And And like I said, this is what also made me love Hull people, because I know Joe basically, and he's a good lad. And but the video footage was as someone went by in the car, and the guy was fair shifting, wasn't he? You saw the video as well. And you just hear the guy who takes the video goes, "Only in Hull," which makes me think, they seem to be
like a normal thing.
I feel like Hull is sort of an untapped sort of comedy goldmine. I feel like there's a lot of shit going on down there, you know what I mean? So I just, So
I've never been to Hull. I didn't.
I don't think I have.
Up until last week when you brought Hull up, I didn't really know anything about Hull. Yeah. But I think it's a place I'd like to visit, to be honest with you.
Like I said, so every week we're gonna just throw a little bit of Hullage at you.
Yeah.
Because why not? And if and maybe we'll move on. Maybe we'll move on to other towns. But for the moment,
Hull is the kid.
I'm loving Hull. I'm loving Hull at the moment, and I know you are as well. So
I laughed probably a little bit more than I should have laughed at the Iraq story, but it was just you curveballed me on it, because it was like, there's no way Hull can be as bad as Iraq. Like, do you know what I mean? But
anyway, as I said, we'll hopefully each week we'll go in and out. We'll have some, because I think this is quite an amusing story. Like I said, as long as the old fella's all right. I also love that it was in the Hull. I think it was in like Daily Mail Hull or some kind of website like that. I found it on. But what I loved about it was, now I don't know if this was a mistake in reporting or if this was the Hull guy's actual quote. But at the end of the story, it said, the taker of the video was quoted as saying, "I was generally concerned about the old fella." I'm pretty sure he meant to say genuinely. I don't know if it was the Hull resident or bad journalism. I don't know. I don't know if it was a nice cap.
Equally,
it was a nice cap.
Ways is a good way to cap it off.
It was a nice cap off the story. Yeah, I was generally concerned, just generally concerned about him, just generally, But, So big shout out to Hull, and we'll keep revisiting you, because we've both never been, but maybe if we do our first ever live podcast or some kind of podcast roadshow,
maybe it should be Joe.
I know where we're starting it.
We bring our Joe on for one of our guests as well.
Mate, let's interview Joe one day. Okay, so current affairs.
That's it. Current affairs done.
Finito.
Okay, so that was number 8 in the bag. I think that was I enjoyed that one.
I did. I enjoyed the eggs.
Decent. I'm definitely, next time I'm in 7-Eleven, I'm going to grab a half dozen of them marinated eggs. They were decent.
Sorry if I offended anyone with Billy Connolly, but
fuck them.
That's my honest opinion.
Everybody's entitled to them.
Yep. And looking forward to delving deeper into Hull and Hull's life.
Yeah. Hull life,
Yeah,
it was a good one. We would love if people would maybe spread the word about us. We're stuck on 27 subscribers now for the last 3-4 weeks,
which we're very appreciative of.
Of course we are, but we'd like to maybe make 30 by the end of 2021.
That would be great. Maybe 3 more people from Hull. That'd be brilliant.
A couple of Hullians.
All right, mate. Well, nice to talk to you again.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah. Speak to you soon. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Good night.
Take care.